You're watching KSL Sports Live.
Hey, happy Saturday, friends. February is here, and so is the thick of conference play in college hoops. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of KSL Sports Live. All right, BYU, they're looking to extend a win streak with a road game down in Orlando. Utes have a star player that got his head cracked open against Oklahoma State, and the Aggies, they have first place on the line tonight up at the Spectrum. That, plus we do have some college football today, believe it or not. But first, sound the trade sirens if we have them. The Utah Jazz, they make their second deal of the season. This morning on Jazz social media, a post was made wishing forward Drew Eubanks a happy birthday. A couple hours later, the Jazz traded him to the Clippers. Go figure, right? That's the business of the NBA. The Jazz sending both Eubanks and guard Patty Mills to the Clippers in a trade that gives the Jazz P.J. Tucker, Mo Bamba, and some cash, along with a second-round draft pick. Now, it's likely that the cash will be used to buy out Tucker and Bamba and let them become free agents while the Jazz pocket that future draft pick. So that's where we're at this afternoon as the Jazz hit the court on an 8-game losing streak, second longest in the league, with two less players, of course, on the roster. And they're now hosting a team in the thick of the playoff chase in the Eastern Conference, a team that's reeling a bit, though, with just 7 wins in their last 23 games, the Orlando Magic. Now, the Jazz have just 2 wins since January 5th. That first win, that was in Orlando against the Magic. In the opening quarter, John Collins to Isaiah Collier. They were electric in transition. Collier to Collins for the hammer. Jazz up 9-5. Next time down the floor, Lauri Markkanen, one of his 2 first quarter threes. Jazz up 12-5. Then, how about another one at the rim from Collins? Colin Sexton feeds him there. The Jazz led by 10 after the first quarter. In the second quarter, Isaiah Collier continues to bring that spark to the court, the bucket, and the foul. Jazz up 37-26. Final 2 minutes of the half, Colin Sexton to Walker Kessler. He slams it in. The Jazz lead is up to 16. Then John Collins with 3 more of his 12 first half points. The Jazz are leading 59-47 at halftime. Lauri Markkanen led the Jazz and made 3-pointers in this game. In the second half, this one puts the Jazz up 13, 64-51. Later in the quarter, Collier and Collins are the duo for another dunk, and the Jazz are up 68-53. How about a little theme here? Markkanen with another 3, Jazz up 16, and then Collins with another dunk. Yes, sir. Jazz take an 18-point lead. A couple minutes later, Collins will step outside, hits the 3-pointer. Jazz with their biggest lead at 21. Late in the quarter, Kyle Filipowski, the nice bounce pass to Keontae George. He dunks it in. The Jazz are up 85-69 after 3 quarters. 1 quarter to go and get their first win since January 12th. And in the fourth quarter, Jordan Clarkson decides to have a little fun. He hits back-to-back 3-pointers. The Jazz still had a comfortable 19-point lead. Midway through the quarter, Clarkson hit another 3-pointer. The Jazz are up 100-80. And Clarkson scored half of the Jazz fourth quarter points. 14 of his 16 came in the fourth. His fourth 3 is what was made with less than a minute to go and is what put the game on ice. The Jazz topped the Magic 113-99. Franz Wagner led all scorers with 37 points, making 18 of 20 free throws. 6 Jazz players scoring in double figures, though, led by Colin Sexton's 22 points. All right, it is February 1st. I already mentioned that, right? Which means we're only 28 days away from the madness that is March in college hoops. And as of this morning, ESPN's bracket expert Joe Lunardi has BYU as one of his first 4 teams out of the NCAA tournament, while UCF is his last team in, which makes this afternoon's game down in Orlando all the more interesting between those two schools. BYU looking for its 4th straight win in Big 12 play. BYU's lead would grow, and they would hold on thanks to a couple of massive swats by Keita in the final 20 seconds. Saunders led BYU with 22 points, 6 for 9 from 3-point range. He's gone for 20-plus in 3 of the last 4 games. Nell finished with 15 off the bench. BYU is now 15-6 on the season and 6-4 in conference play. All right, how about the running Utes? They've been a little bit of running all over the place this season, right? Trading off win streaks and losing streaks, yet they're not in that bad of a place. 4-5 in Big 12 play, a chance to win just their second road game all season this afternoon. The Utes were in Stillwater, taking on 4 for 4 from 3-point range. Ezra Ausar led the Utes with 18. Gabe Madsen with 15. The Utes 7 of 28 from three-point range, lost 3 of their last 4. They host Colorado on Wednesday. Weber State had a conference matchup with Eastern Washington. First half, Blaze 3 gets the steal, takes it coast to coast for the layup, ties things up at 13. Wildcats' Trevor Henning drives in, dishes to 2 for the dunk. But Eastern Washington would pull away behind Andrew Cook. He came off the bench and dropped 27 points. Then Cook is going to slam the door shut with the dunk. The Eagles blow past Weber State 72-49. How about Utah Tech taking on UT Arlington? In the first half here, Trailblazers, Hakeem Byrd downtown. Utah Tech would lead by 2 going into the halftime. But in the second half, Byrd, he hits another triple. Now has had 2 straight games of 18-plus points. But UTA's Jaden Wells hits the late corner 3 to give the Mavericks just enough of a lead to hold on. Utah Tech falls in a close one, 73-71. That is their 5th straight loss. Utah State Aggies have their toughest test of the season tonight. We'll have more on their matchup against New Mexico with first place on the line coming up next. Plus, Jazz guard Keontae George lost his starting job to Isaiah Collier. How has coming off the bench made a difference for George? We'll take a little closer look at that. And the Utah Hockey Club losing a key player to injury and then losing another game in overtime. What happened? We'll tell you next. Aggies' 19-2 start has caught the attention of college basketball experts everywhere. Joe Lunardi has the Aggies as an 8th seed in his latest version of bracketology. Well, tonight, a huge resume-boosting opportunity for the Aggies up at the Spectrum in Logan. First place is on the line in the Mountain West Conference. Utah State's 9-1 start in Mountain West play ties for the school's best start in conference play since joining the Mountain West. Tonight's opponent, the New Mexico Lobos, also a 9-1 record in Mountain West play. The game tips off tonight at 7:30 up in Logan. We'll be live from the Spectrum with post-game reactions coming up tonight at 10. Well, guess who else Joe Lunardi has in his bracket right now? It's the red-hot Utah Valley Wolverines. He has them in as the automatic qualifier from the WAC, but tonight they also have first place in the WAC on the line and a 10-game win streak. The Wolverines tipping off against Grand Canyon down in Phoenix. That game actually is just barely underway. We'll get you all caught up at 10. All right, tough news on the ice this week. The Utah Hockey Club announced on Friday that Logan Cooley is out indefinitely with a lower body injury, an injury that he sustained in the loss to the Penguins on Wednesday night. Cooley is 3rd on the team with 15 goals and 2nd in points with 43. Veteran forward Alexander Kerfoot, he will take Cooley's place on the top line with Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. With Cooley out, the club's second leading scorer, Dylan Gunther, he could actually be coming back pretty soon. The team upgraded him to day-to-day with his injury, but that upgrade didn't help on Friday night because he still wasn't on the ice, right? The Columbus Blue Jackets were in town. Utah seemed to have them cornered going into the final minutes. Utah got a power play goal from Nick Schmaltz in the second period. Then early into the third period, it was Alex Kerfoot scoring his 7th of the year for the 2-0 lead. But then just some bad luck. Back-to-back goals where Karel Vejmelka had stopped the initial shots, but the puck came loose and was put into the net by the Blue Jackets to send the game to overtime. In OT, Columbus was able to put the game away with a 2-on-none fast break. Utah feeling pretty unlucky with the results of these past couple of games.
Yeah, to say the least. If I had more vocabulary, I will find something even worse than that. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, we have, I will say, 12 scoring chance against 4 in the third period in the last 2 games. And we lost 3-1. That's, I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either, Coach. The Utah Hockey Club back on home ice tomorrow. They'll face off against the St. Louis Blues. Then on Tuesday at Delta Center against the Philadelphia Flyers. Those are also the final 2 games that fans will be able to vote on the new team name. Then Utah takes off on a 4-game road trip beginning Thursday in Columbus, a rematch with the Blue Jackets. Chicago Blackhawks were taking on the Florida Panthers today. The Blackhawks, Landon Slager, off the opening faceoff, scores 7 seconds into the game. That is the fastest goal in the 87-year history of the Blackhawks. but it was the Panthers that would score 5 unanswered goals. Sam Reinhart found space for the backdoor goal. Then in the third period, Panthers play copycat, score 10 seconds into the period. Evan Rodriguez with the goal, and the Panthers win comfortably 5-1. All right, let's jump to the NBA now. The Hawks taking on the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton throws the flashy pass to Andrew Nembhard. He sinks the three. Then at the end of the second quarter, Halliburton drives, gets the bucket to fall, plus the foul. Third quarter, Trae Young, the corner three-pointer. They're up by 6, but the Pacers end the quarter on a high note. Obi Toppin, the bucket and one. Then Toppin soars high for the big-time dunk. The Pacers win at home, 132-127. I got a question for you. Is Keontae George a key piece to the future of the Utah Jazz? Well, the second-year guard, he started all 32 games he played this season until last Saturday when he was benched for rookie guard Isaiah Collier. But does that equate to lost opportunities for George? Not necessarily. In the 4 games prior to today that George had come off the bench, he has played 32, 31, 32, and 26 minutes. He's averaging more than 5 assists, 3.5 rebounds to go with 14.5 points per game during that 4-game stretch. On Thursday night, he led the Jazz with 23 points on a perfect 7-of-7 shooting from the field. Now, whether he's starting or not, he is not changing his approach.
I think it's not about, I'm not thinking coming off the bench. My preparation has been the same every single night. This is a big boy league, and you got to guard every single night. So I'm just trying to come in, meet the level of the game, just going out there and playing basketball. That's really been the main thing for me. I just been trying to, keep a level head and understand that at the end of the day, this is just basketball.
Stay aggressive. The minutes you play in this league period is all, they all mean something. So go out there, play how you would play if you was a starter, and make an impact in the game. I've been off the bench for a while now, and I don't look at it as I'm just this guy who's not starting. I'm just out there, another player that's going to impact the game.
Well, Joe Ingles, he's been gone for 3 years now, but the love from the Jazz fans, it's still as strong as ever. What happened on Thursday night to Joe? That's next. On Friday night, the Utah women's basketball team pulled off its 3rd straight win in Big 12 play, 67-58 win over the Arizona Wildcats. And the Utes, they were led once again by the Big 12 Player of the Week, Gianna Kneepkens. She has been outstanding. Kneepkens shot 8 of 15 from the field, which included 3 3-pointers. She was a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line on her way to a 28-point, 7-rebound night. Kneepkens has scored 30, 32, and now 28 over the past 3 games, all Utah wins. Since conference play began, Kneepkens has made 33 3-pointers, which is first in the Big 12, and is now averaging 21.1 points per game in Big 12 play, which is 3rd in the conference. She's also top 13 in rebounds and assists, and her productivity is showing in Utah's team results.
Just playing basketball or practicing like how I play, and then if I get the ball, shoot it confidently.
She is in the gym every day. Like, I go in there and she's already has a sweat going. Like, she is working on her game every day. So I don't think people understand, like, yeah, she's really good, but she has worked so hard to be where she is. And I just wanted to let people know that because, like, she's worked really hard for this. So, and I'm just really proud of her, and I'm blessed to have a teammate like that because it pushes me to get to that level as well.
Stockton with the ball, front court left. He looks to Karl Malone. He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up. It's up. He did it. He did it. John Stockton to Karl Malone. John Stockton with 11 assists. They're on their feet. A new NBA assist king of the NBA.
A record that will never be broken. Basketball John Stockton became the NBA assist king 30 years ago today. A little bounce pass to the mailman who hit the jumper for Stockton's 10,000th 142nd career assist to pass Magic Johnson for the all-time lead. Stockton would finish his career with 15,806 assists, still 3,600 more than the next closest, which is currently Chris Paul. All right, it was 3 years ago next week that the Utah Jazz traded Joe Ingles away to the Portland Trail Blazers. Joe has been back in Salt Lake multiple times since then with the Bucks, Magic, and the Timberwolves. Yes, it's been 3 years, but no, the love for Joe has not faded one bit. Before Thursday night, Ingles had only played a total of 35 minutes over 8 games this season for the Wolves. In the final 5 minutes at Delta Center, the Jazz crowd started chanting for the former fan favorite to get into the game. And Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch, thanks to some coaxing from his players, ended up listening and put Joe into the delight of the Utah crowd.
It's a special place for 8 years, and obviously we won a lot of games. Obviously we didn't obviously go all the way or do what we really wanted to do, but we built this into a pretty cool place, and obviously for the fans every night was a pretty fun game to watch. So yeah, it's like I said, it's always going to be special coming back.
The only thing that drew a louder cheer than Joe coming into the game was this on Thursday night. How much money did this guy make for sinking the punt? That's next. Best golfing of the weekend came inside Delta Center on Thursday night. During a timeout at the Jazz game, this fan made this putt for $5,000. In total, he made 4 putts for $6,250. Dinner's on him.